What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. It's episode 1013. We just passed the 1,000 mark a couple weeks ago. Excited about that. Remember to use our promo code capital OSHOW20. That's OSHOW20 for $20 off your next order using tickpick.com. We could probably factor something in the AI space with that, too, to generate more people. You're big into the automation stuff. Liziana Carter, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, Jack, and congrats on 1,000 episodes.
If you don't quit, you can get there.
Yes.
Doesn't matter, you know? I always say, like, if you don't quit at something, eventually something's got to give.
Yeah, well, that's either you quit or it works out.
Yeah. I was reading, or I was listening to one of your podcasts that you did recently talking about how you would just cold DM business owners for like 4 to 6 months about your business back like in 2019 when you guys started.
Yeah.
And then eventually all you needed was that one yes to get that first client, right?
And then it just skyrocketed. Yeah.
Which is, you just need one person. Isn't it crazy like that? Like we were just talking about before we came on, moving to Vegas, you guys being in Australia, I'm in Phoenix right now. I want to move to Las Vegas as soon as I possibly can for the business. You can meet so many people for so many years and things not click, and all you really need is like that one good connection to do business with, and the sky's the limit.
Yeah, and I often think, the fact that we are in Australia has its benefits, but also its downsides. Because look, we have to fly to the States, Vegas. Like, it's my third time in Vegas this year, and it's June.
Which is nuts.
I know. So
I came here like every 2 weeks last year, and even I was just like, how am I, like, it's a year later, and I'm like, how did I do that? I can only imagine when I'm in like my 40s and 50s, I'm never going to want to leave the couch. I'm gonna be like, I don't want to travel.
hopefully not.
I hope not. I'd like seeing the world. I want to see most of the world. But, I mean, that is that's a crazy long flight for you guys to kind of endure. You're talking about going to New York as well, all over the place. Like, that's taxing.
You got to do it.
But you got to do what you got to do as a business owner, too. So talk to me about this space, because when you guys first reached out to me, I was trying to do like all of my homework on this stuff. It's obviously the space to be in. There's a lot of money to be made, a lot of like really cool connections to be made as well. A few of my friends have interviewed you. I saw your interview with my buddy Sean Kelly. He was very impressed because like what you've been able to do from starting out, getting that first client in 2019, to doing it by yourself, to having a team of 2 doing it for a while there, to now being able to expand, to kind of basically have the funds to do and hire whoever you want at this point. Why was it this space specifically, and what kind of like piqued your interest into it?
I would say why this? Ultimately, it looks like it was gut feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I did chatbots back in 2016, 2018. I was running my own online fitness business. And first, I liked it, and I liked it a lot. And then when I thought about going back to a business model that I could potentially scale and like doing it, like I said, it was gut feeling. I like chatbots, and I saw, this was back in 2020, I saw its application with AI. Back at that point, nobody knew what AI was, and I was playing around with it. And it's funny because businesses were not ready for AI. I was trying to sell it, and I'm like, what is it? And then I pivoted back to, okay, let's just do automation. And for whoever I feel is ready, I will pitch AI 3 to 6 months into working with us. So that's how we left AI to a side. And even when ChatGPT blew up, we didn't jump on it immediately. We then brought it in, and we're now doing it.
Because ChatGPT, for anybody that doesn't know, like you just type something in, be like, hey, I need a workout plan. 5 seconds later, it's got like a really well done workout plan for you. Anything that you ask it, really.
Well, the world needed a good AI model, which is ChatGPT. Mm-hmm. Prior to ChatGPT, what I was doing was Google's AI, Dialogflow. It wasn't good enough. So ultimately, I took a step back from that. And when it blew up, well, I think any business in my space blew up with it.
So what were you doing before even like chatbot? Like what kind of got you into that space where you're like, I'm really good at this, it just kind of clicks, and then that wave kind of took you in that direction?
Well, at my core, I'm an accountant. So
yeah.
Back in Romania, I used to run the family business with my dad and my family. And when I left Australia 7 years ago, I wanted to do something on my own. So I started an online fitness business, and it was just by mistake. I happened to be in a mastermind, and the guy told me, "Hey, go learn ManyChat and coach your clients with
Nice.
chatbots, and then run some chatbot ads to a masterclass, and then sell your products automatically." So I'm like, okay. It was a lot more basic.
It
A
was.
lot more basic than I'm doing it right now, but that's how it started.
And how did you, because being an accountant, you got to be really good with numbers.
Yeah.
I am not a guy who's ever been good with numbers. That's why I got into talk show hosting, just to like learn from people. What do you, 'cause I have friends who are like in finance and accounting. I'm like, they're going to do so well for themselves. I really need to make it in this space. But how do you go about for someone who's like kind of like naive in the space, not only in just AI, but in general, like scaling a business?
Yeah.
How do you go from zero to 100, as the kids say these days? How do you go from like having nothing to having one client to actually like building out, a consistent portfolio with people that, have trusted you with your work over a long period of time?
Well, if you're looking at the mindset of doing this, it's purely hustle. It's
Yeah.
like all you have to do is, instead of social media, I was looking at this, instead of social media, every single morning, you just check your bank account. Don't like what you see, keep going.
Yeah.
But like just talking about numbers, I mean, numbers are always going to tell you how you're doing. And for us right now as a chatbot agency, it is that piece that sets us apart. You probably know ManyChat.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we do is ManyChat combined with OpenAI, but 60% of it or 70% of our done-for-you service is our own revenue software. We spent about a couple of years to develop it. That's what ManyChat doesn't have. So you don't know the revenue through your DMs, who's buying, who's not buying, why they're not buying. So we built a whole software that bolts on top of ManyChat. Because ultimately, any business owner, even solopreneur, anybody who's running a business who wants to build chatbots, they gotta see what's happening. I mean, ManyChat is nice, but all you can do is build chatbots. You can make it highly complex, but you still don't know what's happening. So you need a system that connects your DMs with everything else, all your tools, your website, your email marketing software in real time, so that people who engage with your DMs and buy through your DMs are exposed to an omni-channel experience. It's not like they buy through your DMs and then you keep emailing them because buy my stuff, although they bought it.
Mm-hmm. And it's tough too, because I'll get automated messages sometimes, and it's like, that's not even what I said or asked for, and it's like, okay, that's a bot. That was quick. Or like some of them, it just seems like a genuine like you think you're having a conversation, with a business owner, and it's like, oh wait, I think this is automated. They're smart.
People need to know that they're talking to a bot.
Yeah.
By law in the States.
Okay.
So whatever bot you build, people will know that it's a chatbot. You should not tell them, hey, it's Jack's virtual assistant.
Right.
Something along those lines.
Got it.
And then if they do need to speak to you or somebody on your team, then the bot will make a seamless handover, and then the conversation is being handed
See, I
over.
would not know that. But it's crazy because you can say, like, if you put, like, comment strategy, right? And then you get the DM, it'll go, and that'll also, like, go to your website.
Yeah.
And, like, that's how you kind of, like, build leads and kind of maintain and kind of strategize what you're going to do moving forward from there. What specific, like, messages are you putting out there? Because, like, you want it to seem like, even though these people know it's an automated message, you want them to know that it's, like, you're helping them and guide them in that direction, even though it's not you. And it's like it takes a lot of the workload off of your shoulders in doing so. How do you go about setting those, like, I don't know if they're algorithms or, like, you're actually, like, typing in the messages that are being sent beforehand before you put them out in an automated fashion, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Well, it's a lot more complex in the back end. But I think people are more and more used to, comment X to get Y right now. I think the whole trick there is, and this is mainly what we focus on, is putting out mainly educational type of content that people see value, that inspires them to comment and then continue engaging. But then in the back end, like if you were to go into ManyChat, it can go very crazy, very easy.
Yeah.
So I think if you wanted to get started with this, for example, ManyChat has a lot of free resources on their own. So anybody who doesn't have the engagement just yet, and they want to kick off with this, simple look up on YouTube. They can find ManyChat. Set up a comment to DM automation. Like I started my account on Instagram 6 months ago from zero. And like from the first post, I had one first post go viral, 40,000 comments. That instantly, it only takes one post to.
It does. I had like 1 or 2 reels earlier this year that doubled my engagement. And I'm like, man, the other 1,328 ones really didn't hit, but that one did.
Yep.
And it kind of changes the game, which is crazy.
It's the same of what we're seeing. Like with our clients, all of the comment to DM automation posts get anywhere between 4 to 6 times the engagement of the other ones. And consistently posting that engagement, that type of content, lifts their whole Instagram reach by up to 60%.
So like doesn't even matter in a big way how it looks, how it's presented. I mean, you want it to look well.
I mean, it's always, it has to align to the brand's voice guidelines, what they want to put out. So it's a it's a collaborative approach between, let's say, my team and potentially the brand's team on what's happening in their marketing calendar, and let's align that to the type of content that's going to take people in the DMs. Interesting.
I feel like you have to really go through trial and error in order to know this stuff. Like a lot of people, Alex Hormozi, we were talking about before, he'll tell you that the best teacher in life is experience. You could read all the books in the world and read all the articles, listen to all the podcasts in the world. It's like you actually have to go out there and fall flat on your face to actually learn what's going to work and what's not going to work.
Yeah, and we've tested this chat system that we pretty much built for most of our clients. It's tested. We've sent over 50 million DMs with it, and we've split tested anything and everything that we thought could work. Every single follow-up, if people drop off, when should we send the follow-up? 3 minutes, 10 minutes, the next day. How should we position that follow-up so we can ultimately get that user to take the action that we initially wanted them to take? So it does take a lot of trial and error.
What were some of those first errors, I guess, starting out with, potential clients that were using some of those words to get automated messages, and then you just saw like, okay, this isn't how I originally had thought out in my head how it was going to work out?
In the beginning, and Meta is constantly pushing these things. For example, now they're pushing DM lists. We're building DM lists on Messenger, Instagram DM, so that you can send free push notifications. I think the errors that a lot of businesses didn't see, and we actually bumped into those issues in 2020, were Meta's policies. So a lot of businesses, and that's why they changed policies so many times, because businesses were abusing it.
Yeah.
So, give me, go place an order to enter the giveaway. Like, no, you can't do that because your page is going to get blocked. You can't give a monetary incentive for people to enter a giveaway or get more entries. So there are small tricks that you need to be mindful of. And then also being mindful of Meta's 24-hour window. So really making sure that that's really the only thing that can get you in trouble.
It's great because the rules always change, right?
They do.
They're constantly changing, and they don't they're not broadcasting it anywhere. They're not like sending you notifications. They kind of just like change the rule book, and then
it's somewhere that's hidden, and you have to find it.
Yep, they're just waiting for people to screw up.
Yeah.
How did you go about? Because I also listened to you kind of telling the story of how you were almost like plateauing in the business a couple years ago.
Yep.
And you went from making $50,000 a month in revenue to almost $500,000 a month in revenue. Talking about reading Hormozi's $100 million. What's the name of the
$100 million offers?
$100 million offers.
Yeah.
Anybody who wants to get into any business at all, unbelievable value in that book, as well as anything that he posts on YouTube as well. How did you? Because I just talked about, like, you can't just, like, read books and expect things to happen, right? You have to actually apply the knowledge that you're seeking and getting and absorbing. What were the specific things that you did to kind of shift and break out of that plateau? And then you eventually just saw, like, business was booming after that.
Paid traffic.
Okay.
So remember when I was saying I was cold DMing?
Yeah.
That's not scalable. Cold DMing, cold email outreach, you can do it, but there's only so much you can do with it. Past that point, you got to run paid traffic, some form of paid traffic, unless you're building like a massive, like Hormozi's cold calling team. there is no other way to scale it.
Did you know anything about paid traffic? Or because when I think of paid traffic and I see all these businesses doing it, I'm like, does it work? Like some people say it's awesome. Other people says it's a waste of money.
If you know what you're doing, it works.
It's great. Yeah.
I was familiar with it because, like I said, when I did chatbots for my online fitness business, I ran messenger ads.
So you knew.
At that time, I had a webinar and I was selling my course, and I was running messenger ads to the webinar and then following up on people after the webinar, and even using bots to messenger to coach. So I set an accountability sequence that was sending people a message every day. Hey, here's your nutrition, here's a training. And when there wasn't anything else, I was just like sending motivational messages.
Right. Because even with social media, are you looking to like even grow that in a sense of like you're trying to, because obviously if you scale your social media, you'll scale your business because they go hand in hand. But it is like a full-time job almost. Posting every single day and putting out content that people want to see, quick like 30 to 60 second videos that keep them on their toes and like keep their eyes popping. It's hard.
Yeah. I want to do it. Like you need to play the long-term game. Like you've been doing this podcast for a long time.
Yeah.
So running a business at the same time with the running or building. Here's the thing. My social media, the way that I look at it is positioning myself as the authority. And that's what I tell our clients as well. Like you have your social media. What you want people to see when they look at it is you're positioning yourself as the authority, you know? And with what we're doing, you're not just getting 2 comments or posts, you're getting 500 or 5,000. That instantly changes the game when somebody has a look at your social media.
Yep.
Running paid traffic and having a social media presence like this with DM automation instantly changes the game. Because when people come to the call with you or they want to buy from you, even if you're not booking calls, you're simply selling stuff online, it's different when they see you on social media because it builds trust. It makes your whole paid efforts simply more efficient if you have the presence.
Yeah.
So for me right now, I'm not necessarily looking, I mean, obviously you want to grow, right? But my focus is to simply build trust. That's it.
You have to build trust in a world full of blurry lines, I'll say. You know, you really don't know who you could trust on. So there are people on social media that have like 1 million followers, but then you'll see they have like 13 likes on their posts.
I know.
And you're like, that doesn't add up. And they're not really doing their homework, you know. You bought all the followers to make it look good. You may as well buy all the likes too, right?
I mean, I swear, I had somebody come to us with a page with most followers. And I'm like, I mean, this guy paid us to make money out of nothing.
Yeah.
Like, come on. It's like, as a business owner, well, that was next level. But, you know, influencers could leverage this technology. Like even if you're selling a course, like maybe a low ticket or high ticket, or even affiliate marketing, whatever you're selling, if you're putting out the right type of content, taking people to the DMs, just let an automation sell it. That's it. And then you can just create content like that.
When this first started, not when it first started kind of popping off for you guys, but like when you were, say, making like the $50,000 a month in revenue before that took off, did you have the team to deal with the traffic that kind of just came all together? Did you have to like quickly hire more people at the time?
I had to do it simultaneously.
Okay.
And
that's
even now I have to juggle, you know, do I grow the fulfillment team too fast and I don't have enough sales team? Is it the other way around? And for us, the reason why we grew so slowly in the 2 years was because of our revenue software. So we were just going like and testing, right?
Yep.
A lot. Like we had some big names as our clients, we were lucky enough to have that because we had a lot of traffic to test what we were building. So, you know, getting feedback. Leila talks a lot about letting the customer decide what your product is going to look like.
Yeah.
So getting the feedback from the clients, hey, what else would you like to see? Is this relevant? Is this not relevant? So we took probably too much time to build and perfect, and we're still perfecting it. Like we're still optimizing that revenue software for our clients to be able to have the insights into what's happening. How is their business growing? How is their Instagram growing? And how is that affecting the business? And obviously revenue.
Because, like, to go back to what Leila said, it's like, because I always have conversations with people about how, you could start something and you have your own vision for it, but like if it doesn't relate to the consumer that you're going after, like what does it matter anyways? It's not going to sell. Like let them decide what they want it to be and actually listen and pay attention and adapt and make those adjustments, which probably can be hard if you're like really attached to the product that you're
Totally
making.
agree. I made this mistake last year. I attempted to convert our like we've done for you for like forever. I attempted to convert it into a done with you, like a coaching type of thing, and it completely backfired because the technical side, even if people could pick up the other side, like the content. That's easy. Anybody can do content. But the technical side is just too much to pick up. So we rolled it out. We sold it to maybe 50 clients, and then it completely backfired, and we had to step in and do it all for them and clean up.
That's a lot of work.
It is.
It's a lot of stress too.
Yeah.
Was there at any point in that, or at any point starting this, do you feel like this is just not going to work out?
When I did that, yes. And the thing is that the mistake that I made was not asking my clients, is this something that you would like or you would have bought from me instead of the done for you? I should have done that and let the client decide. Let the client tell me what do they want. And we're constantly doing that. After that mistake, we get on calls with clients and we collect feedback. What did we do well? What else would you have liked to see that we didn't have?
It's the right way to do things. I've worked and again, this is like in college, like doing like internships and working for people for like pennies. But there would be business owners that are like, oh, always make sure the client's happy, like make sure nothing's going wrong. It's like, I feel like that's a little dishonest. People mess up, you know? I remember working in a podcast studio where like one of our lights was like flickering. I'm like, that thing's going to fall out and like hit the client in the head. And they're like, oh, never let the client see you sweat. I'm like, we got to fix some things around here. Yeah. Be honest.
Yeah. I think honesty goes a long way. And like even with even with us, the clients who come to us, they still have to do some work, like, posting the content. So we do have clients who sign with us, and then we build all of this for them, and then they literally don't post the content because they get busy with something else, and then we end up following up, and like that's on them at the end of the day. Like you now have a high converting website that almost has no traffic. Mm-hmm. So
like you can lead them to success, but at the end of the day, they have to want it.
Yeah.
And put in what nobody wants to put in anymore. Work.
Well, what we've done is we've done it almost like it's, we say 100% done for you. But like the next step would be for us to also handle the content and posting it, which is an option as well. But I think if a brand is looking to implement this and they want to do it with us, they do have to learn how to maintain it on the long term, because otherwise they will always be dependent on us or somebody else to manage this for them.
I mean, there's a lot of different hats you got to wear in doing this. How do you know which employees to bring on, partners? I mean, marketing team, sales team, et cetera. Like, there's a lot of people, like, everybody's got to be of the similar mindset of, like, this is where the company's going, this is what we believe in. Because if not, like, there's always, like, one bad egg that can, like, really set you back.
Yeah. So Layla's framework to hire, I very quickly pivoted towards that after I first heard it. So she does a 3-step interview process where on the first call, you get to meet the person, you see, how they vibe, how they are as a person. Second interview, it's a test. In the fulfillment space might be like a technical test. Like, show me what you built, what you've done. Like, they have to have that technical knowledge. And then the third is a culture fit. So asking the right questions and understanding whether they are aligned with the culture. Otherwise, even if they are, so I literally hired somebody on the fulfillment side a couple of months ago, and I literally fired him after 5 days.
Oof.
Completely. And I didn't see it. Although I went through the process, sometimes you don't always make the right choices. Not a culture fit. Completely, even affecting the team. So that's something
under a week.
I know.
That's talent right
It's-
there. Because like anybody can go through an interview process and say all the right things, especially like if you go on a lot of interviews.
Yeah.
I feel like I have interviewed places where I'm like, I don't know if I'd be a great fit for this job, but I walk away from it being like, I think that was a great interview, you know? And you just like know how to say the right things in the right moments, but like actions speak louder than words. And when you actually put them in that environment after like kind of like all the bells and whistles kind of like go away at the beginning. Because like whenever you start a new job or you start a new project, it's exciting. But
Yeah.
like anything else in life, once you get used to it, and 5 days, I mean, you should still be in like that phase of like, I really need to impress people.
Yeah, I don't know. I made the wrong choice. I didn't see it.
Again, that's just trial and error with everything though, too. 'Cause
But I have learned to make fast decisions, like
Yeah.
protecting the team, protecting the culture. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, I messed up.
what would happen, honestly, if Alex and Layla like turned out to be total scam artists and like, I feel like that's like your whole groundwork.
That would be like everybody would be shattered.
Basically, right? I mean, you're like, that's basically my framework. That's the blueprint to almost everything.
Because I feel like
But-
their fans are like our fans.
Yeah.
Me now, I'm counting the days. Where is that third book? Like I want to see that third book.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know, like every 2 years, it seems like, right?
well, the next one is a sales book, money models.
Yeah.
That would be a good one.
Sales is where the money is, so they say.
Yeah.
I have friends who are in like investment banking. They're like, no, that's where it is. I'm like, yeah, you got to get a degree for that stuff, though. For the people that really didn't have it up here in school,
Yeah.
sales is where it's at.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys have kind of coming up moving forward that you would like to promote and let the audience know? Because, again, this is moving very quickly for you guys. And I know you got a lot going on.
Nothing new. What we're doing. So we've perfected this system so much. Right now, it's just a matter of rolling it out. So right now, we've expanded towards we've done e-commerce for most of the last 4 years. Let's say, 90% e-commerce.
Yeah.
We've had coaches, course creators, online fitness pros do really well in the space. So I was actually at a mastermind coming from Cabo. And I was asking the question, how do I go broader and be able to help a lot more, not just businesses, but solopreneurs. And honestly, this will work for anybody who has some form of engagement already. I probably wouldn't want to take anybody from scratch
Yeah.
and build this out for them. But if you're getting, consistent 1 to 2K views per reel, and you're not making money through your Instagram, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. So for us, it's just a matter of pushing our done-for-you service right now and scaling it.
Did you know what type of businesses would succeed with your product when you started? Because it's like you go through it, you're like, okay, e-commerce, it's working. Fitness trainers, it's working.
I didn't. I guessed e-commerce. I don't even know why I chose e-commerce. Initially, it was just because it was COVID. And then I just stuck with e-commerce, probably for too long. Because what we found in the last maybe 6 months is that our best case studies are, funnily enough, online fit pros. So they're selling like a low ticket offer, fitness influencers who are very good on camera. They're used to doing content. They just like pump out. Like we tell them, record this, this, and this, and we're putting it out next week. Done. E-commerce, you tell them to do content, they will not do it. Like we have to chase them, do this, do that. Please do this. Have you done?
Yeah.
They're not doing it. So course creators, I think that is killing it a lot right now. Like we've had a few clients who've smashed it, selling in the bot, like no calls, no nothing, from $47 to $97 low ticket offers up to 1K courses, all automated.
Wow.
I know.
I mean, that's a big jump. And you said you wouldn't take anybody from scratch, which is smart. I've met people who would take people from scratch just to get the money, and it's just like, that's just dishonest. What specific numbers would you be looking for then?
Well, I would say we would probably only look. So when we do this, we do it both on Instagram and Facebook. But right now, it's only the Instagram that we're looking at. So they would have to have maybe 10,000 followers minimum and getting good engagement. Like I said, at least 1K views per reel. Maybe 2 to 3 meaningful comments, not bots.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
Like
if
the
we
check
see that,
DM post with like
yeah,
a
no, none of
handle.
that.
I love those.
So as long as we see it's genuine,
Yeah.
it's not bot engagement, it's not fake followers, it's maybe 2 to 3 people that maybe could be potential clients, and just like genuine stuff. That's not fake. And then we know we can take that and blow it up.
Blow up genuine influencers that are actually building an audience, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Because it's a win-win for everybody involved.
Yeah.
And where can the people find you guys? I know you got a website, obviously on social media.
The website is GROW.AI.com, so they can go there, book a call with my team, or if they want to play with my Instagram, they can just go and comment on my reels.
Liziana Carter, thanks so much for coming on the show. You heard it here first, guys. GetGROW.AI.com?
Yes.
GetGROW.AI.com. This was episode 1013 with Liziana Carter. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe on our YouTube channel at Jack O'Hara TV. Thanks, guys.